Clouded Mind Show is filmed live in New Jersey where recreational cannabis is legal. Please use cannabis responsibly and in accordance with your local laws.
Hey friends, it's time for another new episode of the Two Clouded Mind Show with your favorite hosts, Chris.
I have a very caveman brain.
And Dave.
He's falling apart in front of our eyes.
Subscribe to the Two Clouded Mind Show on YouTube
See our pretty faces.
and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Two clouded minds, baby. I love you guys.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. It's Wednesday.
Hello and welcome.
Hello, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. Anthony, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's Wednesday.
It is.
It is officially Wednesday.
It's always Wednesday.
It is always Groundhog Day.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I feel like I'm going crazy. It's always Wednesday.
Always Wednesday.
Oh my goodness.
But like always, your favorite podcast is back at it.
That's the Two Clouded Mind Show, in case you didn't know.
Yeah, we are your favorite podcast.
Yep.
We love you.
Thank you.
And we have a friend.
Special guest.
We have a special guest. We have Nithin from the NR Hour.
Nithin, NR Media.
Welcome.
How do you do?
Welcome.
Well, thank you, David. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Anthony, for having me back on the show. You guys are the best. You guys are killing it. First of all, I love your show. I love what you guys do. I love your platform. I love the studio. I love everything about you guys. So keep it up. Keep up the great work. And obviously, good friends with Tobias. I saw the last episode with Tobias. You guys did a fantastic job with that. So keep
Thank
it up.
you.
And like I said, thank you again for having me. So
Thank
course,
you.
of course.
Shot out of a cannon. This man brought the
mean,
energy today. Thank you.
Let's go.
Woo.
I'm hard.
Yeah. Whoa. So, yes. So, I mean, let's do this, okay? Let's pretend that our audience doesn't know anything about you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Let's pretend that, we need to know the origin story of the NR Hour, origin story of you, which I guess then led to the NR Hour, how you got into, or, what you do, how you got into it. Like, give us the whole rundown.
So so during COVID, I started. So when the sports shut down, when everything got shut down, so I said to myself, let me start something. So all my friends are big sports fans, and all my family members are big sports fans. So when all the sports shuts down, I told myself, let me think of a show or a podcast, and well, what a way to start a podcast on Instagram. So I came up with the name, easy name, my name, NR, Nithin Ramachandra. So I reached out to a lady who deals with LLC stuff. So I told her, put my name officially as a podcast name. So she did that for me. So it became the NR Hour first. So I started doing interviews on Instagram Live with players, starting reaching out to players, coaches, athletes, whatever, reporters. So my first ever episode on the show was Jim Down from the New Jersey Devils. That's how it got started. So it started on Instagram Live, and then it started pushing. So after Jim Down, started reaching out to multiple people, and a lot of people started joining the show. And so I realized after year one, I needed to start building a team.
Mm-hmm.
So year two, that's when I started building a team. Now I have a total of 12 people working with me underneath my company. So 12 people underneath currently. So first it was 5, and then we just started increasing in year two. And year two was we were still doing shows on Instagram Live, but we started reaching out to like Spotify, iHeartRadio, all the podcast platforms, and so we filled out forms. And now our show is on Spotify and iHeartRadio, so people can find us on Spotify and iHeart. So that's when we started doing Zoom interviews. So we transferred from Instagram to Zoom, and then using StreamYard and all those video platforms. And then year 3 of this business, I got featured on News 12 New Jersey. So News 12 New Jersey, local in Edison, they brought me into studio to talk about my journey as a sports journalist, like a studio like this. And then
Don't lie. You can tell them that
Ours is better.
Yeah, yours is bad.
It's cool. It's cool.
You guys has more swag to it.
Thank you.
But yeah, so they featured me on there, and ever since then, my team was started growing even more, and then with at that time we had 8, so then 4 more joined after that, so now it's 12. So after that episode, after that segment, we started doing we've been doing more in-person events like autograph signings with the players, athletes, going to fundraisers, parties. Now it's in our industry is all about networking. So we started doing networking in person with all these people, and we have a great networking base now. And now we do a lot of in-person stuff, and we go to different venues, book athletes to different venues for the fans, and host parties, events. We do everything now. And then now this year 4 into the business, we're trying to branch out even more. Actually, I've been so this last 3, 4, 5 weeks, I've been busy in meetings trying to join a network. So we've been talking to CBS, NBC, ESPN, all the big sports networks, trying to join them. They're interested, but it's just a matter of what openings are there and when can they bring us in. And also, I have 5, 6 mentors in the industry, most of them work with the networks I just talked about. So they've been reaching out for me to see where's the openings at. So right now we're focused on joining a network, but we're continuing to do more in-person events, and then book all the autograph signings with players, and do more parties and all. So
Nice.
yeah.
You sound busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
always
sure.
always on the grind. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you have to be. I mean, listen, I'm not even gonna lie. When it comes to sports, I know the least amount. Seriously, I know the least amount.
Yes.
But I do find that world fascinating.
Yeah.
It's a very fascinating world. Like, I like combat sports and stuff like that, but
UFC, you're a big UFC fan?
I like UFC. I like regular boxing.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
You do. I think I was at an event, or
Yes.
one or two events, but there was one with some UFC fighters.
So
right?
So I invited David. Tobias was there too. So I
Yeah,
invited
yeah.
David to it's called Ribs in Tom's River. It's a nice restaurant and pub. Where they do a lot of great events. Actually, I just mentioned Dustin Poirier, the UFC fighter, will be there August 17th doing for a meet and greet, and then watch party for UFC 305. He will be there.
Sick.
But David, I invited David, and Tobias was there. Frankie Edgar, we're good friends with Frankie Edgar, me and Tobias, and Roger Matthews. They have a podcast called they have a podcast too. So they had their podcast live over there in the Ribs. So we helped them out with their event at the Ribs, and they hosted. I forgot which UFC it was, but they hosted a UFC event, and it was a great turnout. They had a great turnout. Yeah, they're great people to work with, and they're awesome. They're like family to me now. So David was there; he enjoyed it, and it's a great vibe there at the Ribs. So
yeah, it was a pretty cool time.
I've never been there.
They had like a stage. It was essentially it's a restaurant.
yeah,
Okay.
And they have a bar and stuff. They had like a long table set up at the one end of the room, and up on like a little stage area, a little raised area, and they did their podcast. The guys did their podcast right there in the room. They had some guests coming on and off. They had like the rotating guest chair. They had a bunch of people who were
That's
there
sick.
in connection with the UFC. There was a couple of fighters, I believe, that they brought up and they talked to,
Yep. So
who were just like walking around the party. Otherwise, So it was a nice little event. They
That's
did a
awesome.
nice job.
I dig that. I can get behind that. Like just a casual. It's a live thing.
Yeah,
a
it's
live
like
taping,
not
but
dissimilar from when we do our live shows.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very similar to that.
It's a fun vibe.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, so one of the fighters they brought up, her name is Britton Hart. She's a bare knuckle fighter.
Okay.
If you saw bare knuckle fighting before, it's a crazy sport, and she was there.
I didn't know bears had knuckles.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Heyo.
Grr, baby.
Oh boy. Anyway, go ahead.
But
go
she's
ahead.
a badass. She's beautiful. So they brought her on the stage, and she's like a 3-time champion in bare knuckle fighting. So she had a great segment with Frankie and Roger, and man, that was one of the fighters, and I think she was the only one who made an appearance there.
Really?
Yeah, and I think Tobias was on there. He was on there, and then I think some other people were, but she was only the other fighter there.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I wasn't able to be on the podcast that time, but you know, maybe next time.
Yeah.
We'll get you on the podcast.
I'm just kidding. Well, you know, I did just sing the national anthem.
He sure did.
Yesterday.
And you know what? He crushed it.
At
He crushed it.
Lakewood
You did?
with the Jersey Shore Blue Claws.
Jersey
game.
Shore Blue Claws.
Yeah.
He not only did the national anthem, he did "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" for the 7th inning stretch
Wow.
Yes.
on the mother jumbotron.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
so
right.
that episode will be coming out shortly. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, for now, it's that was one little thing that I did yesterday.
Wow, that's
Pretty-
awesome.
pretty exciting.
I told him yesterday it was really cool. He did a terrific job. First of all, it takes tons of balls to be out there because you're standing in front of everybody at basically home plate singing to the crowd. And then when he did take me out to the ball game, I was praying that Buster, the mascot, at one point was going to pie him in the face.
I'll bet that if you had been able to somehow talk to him
Oh.
prior to that, then he probably could have done something or would have
Yeah.
done something.
Wow.
But no, I was like tucked away in a little corner of the stadium. So
Wow, I
was
didn't know.
kinda
I
sad.
didn't know David was a singer, but congrats to you, David. That's
Thank you.
awesome. You gotta do more national anthems now in different stadiums.
See, it's funny that you say that. It's funny. It's funny that you say that because when the woman who was sort of like
Your
my
handler.
yeah, my handler was taking me from spot to spot and talking to me about it. She's like, "So I'm sure you've done this before, right?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I've never sung the national anthem before. This is the first time." And she's like,
This is a bit.
apparently, right. Apparently, people who sing national anthems
Yeah.
sing a lot of national anthems. So I don't know if I'd be seeking it out to do it again, but I would be willing to do it again.
Would you do it at Yankee Stadium?
Mm.
Of course.
I mean, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know,
you can't say
that's
no.
that's an opportunity. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
can't say no.
Because I mean, if you think about it, I was walking through like the underway tunnels of the stadium where
It
like
had
the,
to feel
the
cool.
players were walking past me. So like I walked through the dugout to get onto the field and then back into the dugout to
That's
get
dope.
off the field.
That's
so like,
rad.
when I was walking off the field, the first base coach gave me a baseball
That's
because I
cool.
was walking off. So that was kind of
Wow.
cool. And then I walked back up the tunnel and came out
Yeah,
inside
yeah,
the
yeah.
stadium.
That's so cool.
When was this?
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Okay,
Yeah.
yesterday. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Good. That's awesome.
There'll be an episode that's pretty much just about that, I think, at some point.
Yeah, we actually we cover Jersey Shore Blue Claws games sometimes too, whenever
Nice.
we have free time.
What's
That
your
was-
favorite sport? I'm sorry, go
No,
ahead.
no, go. No, it was
What's your favorite sport to
irrelevant.
cover?
Oh man, that's a great question. I will.
It's full of those.
I mean, I would say
Are you afraid to say?
no. I would say football.
Okay. I was
Bec-
gonna say he
because-
might be contracted
Yeah.
to say something that we're making him say something that he can't.
No, on this show is fine. But I would say football, because I feel it's obviously a lot. All sports are a lot of action,
Mhm.
but I think football brings. I'm more connected to football players in the industry. I mean, we know a lot of players, but we're more connected to football players. And I feel like when we cover football, they tell us more stories that they had throughout their careers and everything, and what they've been through on the field and off the field, the grit and the grind and the practicing on the field, especially they tell us so much about practice.
Baseball
and-
players
and
are
the
pussies, right?
Yeah, baseball. Yeah, but
It's all jokes. It's all jokes. It's all jokes.
Right. Chris is going to get his ass kicked by a
I
couple
really
of baseball
do
players.
not want to get my ass kicked by baseball players, but I mean,
Especially-
I do know enough about football to know that those dudes practice in like 110-degree
Yeah.
weather,
Mhm.
like full gear and stuff, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, other sports do also practice in
Yeah.
that kind of weather as
Yep.
well. You know,
But
it's not
football,
just
they wear the
football
most
players.
gear, though, right?
yeah,
They have a lot of gear. Yeah. They have a lot of gear. What do you think is the most dangerous sport? Is it football, or is there another sport that's more dangerous?
Every sport is dangerous, but the most dangerous is I would say football.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the hits and like for example Ryan Shazier from the Steelers.
Oh yeah.
If you saw what happened, he obviously he had to end his career after going down, trying to tackle the Bengals player, and then unfortunately I think he got hit somewhere here, and then ended his career. So like that.
Because he walks though, right?
He walks,
Yeah.
he walks now, but
He broke his neck. Though.
yeah. But yeah, he was horrible. But
Recently?
no, it just happened
A couple of years
a
ago.
couple of years ago. Yeah, but now he's done playing football. But I would say football because of the hits. But they've been improving the padding over the years, and also they're changing a lot of rules now in the NFL when it comes to kickoffs, and so you'll see a lot of new things happening in this season. So coming up, so a lot of kickoff rules happening. And speaking of football, training camp opened up today, so all the players are back in training camp,
Yes.
practicing. And my shout out to my guy. So
Yes.
It's our time.
football season coming up.
Oh
upon us.
baby. Oh baby.
But,
This is what we live
Who's
for.
your team? The Jets or the Giants?
Uh,
Or
Well-
someone else?
So when I'm working in media, I have to be neutral, obviously. But when I'm not working, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Get out right freaking now.
Oh.
Get out.
No. We don't have any allegiances like in that way, so you're welcome here. Did you ever get the opportunity to cover Dallas Cowboys?
Not yet.
Not
but
yet.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Actually, I have some connections through the Cowboys.
Okay.
So we're trying to get some credentials to fly. I haven't been to Dallas,
Oh,
so
okay.
so I'm trying to get credentials to fly to Dallas and cover my team. And
So, if you've never been to Dallas, how did you become a Dallas Cowboys fan?
so my father, he went to boarding school in Arkansas.
Okay.
So my father was when he was in Arkansas, he watched two teams, Texas football and Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
So that's when he became a big Cowboy fan. And when I was born and when I was like 7, 8 years old, he goes to me, "If you become a fan of another team, you're out of the house." So I was basically forced to be a Cowboy fan.
Okay, fair.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Chris is like, okay,
Dad-
fair.
Dad's a bit of a bully, but all right. That's cool.
You should have changed to a Giants fan.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Giants, I have a great story about Giants.
Go ahead.
Even though I'm a Cowboy fan, I'm connected with a lot of Giants players, former and current. One of my mentors used to play for the Giants, Lennon Marshall.
Yeah.
He played with Lawrence Taylor in the 80s.
He was
80s.
another one of the linebackers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lennon Marshall is one of my mentors, and we did an event with Lawrence Taylor last year, and now I'm good friends with Tommy DeVito, the Giants quarterback. So I've been doing stuff with him and his family.
See, when you say names, these guys, I feel like these guys are like, I'm over here
I know who
like
you're talking
drooling.
about.
I'm
Yeah.
over here slack-jawed like.
So and also I'm good friends with David Tyree, and so these are the potential names that could be coming here for you guys.
Chris, don't get us too excited about
I
that.
know.
Let's take one step at
Yeah,
a time before
but,
we say. But Chris, do you remember the Super Bowl a couple of years ago? Eli Manning won the Super Bowl because he threw the ball and the guy jumped up and he caught it like it was like against his helmet and he touched the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah. I
Dave-
have a picture of that at home.
That guy who caught the ball
David
is David Tyree,
Yeah.
who he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know some of the
Yeah,
players.
yeah, I have his photo at home.
Oh,
In
you
the
do?
Frame. Yeah,
Nice.
that catch, him catching the ball.
Oh,
like
really?
that. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, iconic play.
Yeah, but so quick. So Tommy DeVito's mom, she loves what we do in the industry, so she wants us to be more involved with these events. So far we've done 3 events with the DeVito family, and we're trying to. I think we're gonna obviously find a way to be to have a great partnership going forward with him and his family. So
You allowed to peel back, open the sausage factory a little bit? So I got a question for you.
That's not how that saying goes.
Whatever. I can listen. It's our show. We can do whatever we want, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Open the sausage.
I'm
factory.
gonna open the back door to the sausage factory.
Oh boy,
Nah.
that's even worse.
That guy. All right. So I do know the DeVito kid.
yeah,
He's
This
this
one.
one, right?
Yeah.
All right. So does he still have that manager?
Sean. Yes.
All right.
Go ahead.
I have a question, and I'm not trying to be
You're
mean.
You're not gonna be able to answer this question, but go ahead.
He comes off
Oh.
from from what you see. He just comes off as like a sleazeball.
Oh,
Like
jeez.
I'm. Come on, you guys know what I'm saying.
The,
Like
the
it's-
player or the agent?
the agent, the
Talking
agent,
about the agent,
the
yeah,
agent,
but
the
I mean,
agent, the agent.
that's
Like,
on what grounds do you saying?
no,
this?
I'm just saying. Like, it's. I feel like not that he's a sleazeball. Okay, I apologize about that.
Yeah, that's
but I
not-
feel like it's like an act. He's an act.
That day was an act with the whole
there was
outfit.
I believe that there was a little bit of theatrics or whatever, gamesmanship, whatever you want to call it, where he was definitely
That's what I meant to say.
playing it up.
That's what
for
I meant
sure.
to say. I didn't meant,
But I'm
yeah.
sure he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he played.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
played
yeah.
dress up that day.
Oh, he doesn't do it all the time. He doesn't.
Well,
Like,
no,
it's
he-
not always with the fedoras. and
He oftentimes will get dressed up at certain events. Like there was one event where he was inducted into the Italian American Hall of Fame, and they give you
Wait,
for
what?
that.
Is that real?
Yeah, I didn't. There's halls of fame for everything.
There is.
So they give you a green jacket for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he ended up having green pants, matching pants made. So he had
Okay.
like a suit made out of it. So he showed up
he's
at
flashy.
an event. Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And he's he was just as much as Tommy DeVito's little this hand signal was hot for a moment. He was playing off of that a
How
little
funny
bit.
would it be if he
And-
turned out that he wasn't Italian at all?
Yeah.
That would be funny, but
It would
I
be
think
so
he's,
funny.
he's pretty Italian.
Yeah,
He's
he's
so
like-
funny. Dude.
Actually,
He's got the nose for
I
it.
met the agent. I'll pull up a picture here.
Just call him up.
No, don't.
No.
No, please don't.
No, hey, I just called you a sleazeball. How
No, I
you doing?
don't. I didn't. It's all jokes.
It was
it's all
Chris
jokes.
misspoke.
It's all
He
jokes.
misspoke.
I pull up-
Chris misspoke.
He's gonna get whacked.
See, but I feel like he's always like looks like that, and I feel like I don't know, like your average person doesn't dress like that. But then,
No, he's not an average person. He's an NFL agent.
yeah,
Yeah.
So he's got to,
So I'm
he's got to do a little something to set him apart. Because
Yeah.
let's also be real about it. Tommy DeVito isn't the biggest client in the world, so he's got to help. They're helping each other here.
Yeah.
He's helping Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito's helping him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's trying to capitalize on the little bit of spotlight that they're getting to potentially maybe get another client. He's
Got
just
it.
trying to do his job.
mind my ignorance.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
allowed.
You're
But
good.
I think that it seems like I thought you were gonna go in a different direction though. But yeah, no, he seems like a pretty okay guy. They all seem like pretty okay
Yeah.
guys. You know what I mean?
He
They're
just
out-
dresses very loud sometimes.
out-
It's
out-
crazy. It's funny.
Chris,
it's funny.
Chris, you're wearing 2-inch pink shorts right now.
That's not screaming quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. Like I mean, your thighs. We see the non-tan part of your legs. Like we see the milky white, creamy thighs that you
So
have.
embarrassed right now.
The,
Oh,
the
God.
Milky Way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Hey,
flashy.
there's nothing you could do. You can't pull them down.
I can't.
no.
I tried.
It's only like
You-
6. It's
Watch,
like
watch.
6 inches of material,
But
top
like-
to bottom.
But like through the show, you'll see me.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, hello.
Careful. Just be careful.
Is that crocodiles?
Still a family show.
It's crocodile with a severed hand, giving the middle finger in his
Oh,
mouth.
God. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, interesting.
Goodness gracious.
not dead yet. Steve Cloud and Tennant, check out.
Hey,
Nice.
Nithin, do you cover Rutgers basketball?
yes. Yep.
I remember we talked about this, and I was, I'm interested. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Rutgers men's basketball season?
I'm looking forward to it. We cover women's and men's Rutgers basketball, so
Right.
it should be a great year. Steve Pike, the head coach for Rutgers men's, he's a great coach, and they have a good recruiting class coming in, and just looking forward to covering them and covering the women's. So it should be a good year for Rutgers, both men's and women's. But I think the men's basketball team, if they stay healthy and if everything goes well, if they can gel quickly, then I think they have a good chance to be in the tournament. But they have to get the chemistry down. But Steve will get them into the right direction. I feel like I think they're gonna have a good year this year.
So now let me put you on the spot. Do they make the tournament or not? Yes or no? Yeah, I know it's way early, and they haven't even bounced a
No.
ball.
No.
So this is just mere speculation. What do you think? Because I have my answer. I know what my answer is. But what do you think, Nathan? Are you able to answer that?
I'm gonna say I think they're gonna make it.
Me too.
Yeah, they're gonna make it.
Me too.
They're
I
gonna
think
make
they
it.
make a tournament this
They're
year.
gonna make the tournament, and
Yeah.
I don't know how far they're gonna go, but See, this is the one thing about beauty of sports is when you make the playoffs in any sport, anything can happen
Okay.
right from there, right there. So if I'm gonna say Rutgers makes it, but I don't know how far. But let's see what happens. So there you go.
I think there'd be like a double-digit seed.
yeah,
You know,
one of the lower seeds, and
do
then
you know how it works? So there's a field of 64 teams. You know March Madness.
Yeah,
Everybody
March-
makes
yeah.
their brackets.
Yeah.
It's 64 teams, but it's actually 68 teams because there's like a play-in.
Mhm.
And then
I
there's-
actually just learned about the extra the 68 this
play-in?
last yeah.
Okay. And so there's 1 through 16, 1 through 16, 1 through 16, 1 through 16. So the Rutgers would probably get one of those, double-digit seeds in one of the 4 quadrants. So there'll be like a lower half of the quadrant. In
They
whatever
weren't in
quadrant.
last year at all?
No, they
they were
weren't.
not.
I
in.
thought
But as
they were.
Nithin said, they have like a really good incoming freshman class. There's like two
Two-
top
two
recruits.
top. Actually, you guys know who Ron Harper is?
I do.
The former NBA player. Oh, you
Yeah,
do.
I do.
So his son, is
Derek
playing-
Harper.
Yeah, Dylan Harper.
Dylan Harper. Sorry.
He's going to be playing for Rutgers this
yeah.
year.
So a former NBA player who was really good.
Yeah.
He's not like all-time great necessarily, but he was a very solid player. He had a really good career. Derek Harper. He played for the Knicks for a while.
Ron Harper.
Ron Harper. Sorry, I'm getting all confused now. Ron Harper is his father, and he
Yeah.
played for the Knicks. He played
Was
for a
he
couple different
super
places.
talented?
He was in the NBA
Now-
for many years.
Do
And
you
so
su-
the son is really good.
That's what I was going to say. Do you
Really
subscribe to the fact that he was born naturally talented, or he just put in all the work that his dad put in?
I think that it's probably a little bit of both.
Both.
I think that he's got the proper gifts, but he also obviously did the work.
Yeah, you have to do the work
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah, but it seems like he was what, like the number 1 or 2 prospect in the country or something.
You talk about Ron or Dylan?
Dylan.
Dylan. Oh, he was ranked one of the top high school players in New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, and this kid is gonna. I'm telling you right now. Look up highlights on him right now. Dylan Harper. I feel like he's gonna have a great college career with Rutgers, and Rutgers fans should be excited about him. He's a stud. He's a stud.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. And didn't they have another really
They had
good?
another. I forgot his name,
Yeah,
but
me too.
they had another
sorry.
rookie, another top prospect. I forgot his name. I gotta double
Ace or something
Oh.
like that.
check. Yes, Ace Bradley something. Ace something.
I'll Google it.
Yeah, something Ace.
Who's going to
But-
win the Super Bowl this year? The Chiefs?
I mean, they three-peat? I don't know.
Oof.
I think
I think it's the same. I think it's possible to bring back the same exact game, but the Niners win.
I think the Eagles go.
Eagles.
They can go for
Didn't they
sure.
just get Saquon Barkley?
Yeah, they got Saquon.
See,
yeah.
listen to me. Look at me talking a little
Yeah.
sports.
There
Just
you
to
go,
tie it
Chris.
up. Just
That's
to,
right.
just to tie it up, it's Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey. There you go, Ace Bailey.
But yeah, so Nithin, who do you like in the AFC? Who do you like to win the AFC before we even get to the Super Bowl?
Man, you got to put a Chiefs are obviously number. Until someone beats the Chiefs. Chiefs is a class of the AFC. You can't. I mean, Patrick Mahomes. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, we interviewed Patrick Mahomes' father on the show. So his father was on our show a couple years ago, or 3 years ago, and he told me a lot. But he wanted Patrick Mahomes to play baseball. So his Pat Mahomes Sr. played for the Mets. Was a pitcher for the Mets.
Really?
Yeah. So he told me that he wanted his son to play baseball, but Patrick chose football and he chose right. Obviously, 3
Yeah,
Super
yeah,
Bowl
for sure.
championships already. Not even 30 yet, and he has 3 Super Bowl. So a lot of people were saying if he retires now, he'll be in the Hall of Fame already. That's how good he is. So
Yeah, he's gonna. Well, I mean, his numbers and stuff are good enough to be in the Hall of
But he
Fame.
still has a long career ahead of him, right?
Yeah,
Hopefully.
he's on pace for a lot.
As long as he
Yeah.
stays healthy, he's going to be the greatest quarterback of all time.
yeah,
He'll pass Tom Brady.
Oh, he didn't already yet?
no, not
Tom
yet.
Brady has seven
Oh,
championships.
okay. I thought it was based on other things
he's
as
got-
well.
he's got-
Well, no, but Brady, the counting stats, Brady still hasn't beat just because Brady
Yeah.
played for like 20 plus years. So like he still has to catch up to Brady in the counting stats as well. But I mean, the number one statistic or whatever you want to call it is championships.
Did he?
Well, he's got more
beat
game
Tom
increases
Brady?
now, though, which helps.
What did you say?
an increase in number of games.
Oh, one more game per year.
Well, they're gonna eventually go
For
to
what?
18.
Counting stats, you mean?
Oh, he's just,
Yeah, I mean, that's negligible. It's
Did
not gonna-
Mahomes ever beat Tom Brady for a Super Bowl?
No,
Did they
No,
ever play in the Super
Brady
Bowl?
beat Mahomes in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Mhm. Yep.
Oh,
his first
okay.
year. That
Tampa
was
Bay.
Tampa Bay
Bunk,
first year.
Tom left New England, went to Tampa Bay, and in
yeah.
his very
Won a
first year
Super
with Tampa Bay, won a Super Bowl. He beat Chiefs. He beat Mahomes and the Chiefs. Yeah.
Dang, so they're just going to end up going to the Super Bowl probably every year
The
for
Chiefs,
a long
the
time.
Chiefs
as Nathan said,
They're
somebody's going to have to beat him,
Yeah.
you know,
So-
to,
Yeah.
they
to
got,
go.
they got the best quarterback, the best tight end, and
Yeah.
the best coach.
I'll tell you
the
the team,
Walrus.
but I'll tell you the team that could potentially
Go ahead.
compete with them
Go ahead.
if they stay healthy.
Go ahead.
It's your New York Jets. If Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, if
Whoa.
the biggest keys for the Jets are
Health.
health. Yeah. So if Rodgers stays healthy, if Mike
Rodgers.
Williams stays healthy, if Brees Hall stays healthy, if the team, especially their offensive, I don't care. I'm not worried about their defense. Their defense is always good. They always have a great defensive team. But the offense, they got to stay healthy. If they stay healthy, I'll give them a chance to compete with the Chiefs. That's the team I'm keeping an eye on this year. Is the Jets
That's above Baltimore,
above Baltimore, above
above
Jets
the
are-
Bills.
And their rankings on somewhere, they're ranked like 4th.
How do you feel about Houston? Do they repeat as very good, or do they take a step back this year?
They don't take a step back. They're going to take a step forward.
Oh, really?
I love what D'Amico Ryans did the first year of his coaching career. He that team is they're scary. They had a great draft last year and this year too, and I think they're going to continue treading up. And I can see them. I don't see them winning a Super Bowl yet, but I think they're one of the top teams in the AFC. Houston Texans.
Okay.
Baltimore is an interesting team, and I know Lamar Jackson, obviously MVP candidate every year, but they're too. To be honest, they're inconsistent. I need to see more out of them.
Okay.
But they're a great team. But I see if the Jets stay healthy,
Yeah.
the Jets can overlap them.
Two more AFC teams I want to talk to you about. The Bengals, because I think that's a team who could be very good, but it's another one that rests a lot on injuries.
Yeah, Joe
That
Burrow.
throwing hand, yeah.
Yeah,
I like that kid.
yeah, Joe.
He's cool as hell.
Yeah, smoking cigars but
Yeah, he's good.
That's the homie.
But Joe Burrow, he needs to stay healthy. He's another one who's injury concerns. But I think the Bengals is another team that's inconsistent. Has been inconsistent throughout the year. So I think they're obviously they're a talented team, but I gotta see if they that's another team that needs to stay healthy. But I think if they stay healthy, if Joe Burrow stays healthy the whole season, I think they're gonna be fine. So
What do you think? What can we expect from Harbaugh's first year in with the Chargers in LA?
oof, that's gonna be exciting to see. And they lost a lot of players, but I think. I see them.
7-11.
Yeah, I think.
Mark it down. 7-11.
7-11.
Yeah, it's not going to be that.
Yeah, probably not.
I think they can make the
That's bad.
playoffs. I think they're a playoff team.
18 games.
Yeah,
Yeah, with Jim Harbaugh.
really.
Justin Herbert,
They don't play
obviously a
that
good quarterback.
I think that they,
6 and 10.
I think they'll have a good, obviously top coaching, and the quarterback is great. But I just don't think that they don't have anybody at receiver. They don't have
Yeah.
anybody to catch the ball at tight end. They
Yeah.
don't have really their running backs room is very lacking.
Austin Eckler's gone.
Yeah, like they don't have the players to go with Justin Herbert at this time. I feel like they're a year away from the playoffs.
Yeah.
Personally.
This is the rebuild, reconstruct thing, right?
Yeah,
You
this
know,
is where
before the season.
Harbaugh gets to
Yeah.
wipe away some of the stuff
They
he
had a
doesn't
lot of-
want.
they had a
and
lot of
start
money.
building.
lot of money problems, so he had to
Yeah.
get rid of some of that.
So again, back to the AFC. You think it's going to be the Chiefs? Who do the Chiefs play in the AFC Championship game? Who gets there? It's the Jets. Because people around here would be flipping out.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
They would be. The people around here would be going bonkers if
Yeah.
the Jets were in the AFC Championship.
I'm gonna say the Jets. I believe in the Jets this year. I think it's their time, and like I said, if they stay healthy, they're a great team already. Their defense is awesome. I love
Yeah.
their defense. It's just a matter of the one holdup right now is Hassan Reddick's contract.
Yes.
So if they can get him to sign on the dot, he's not at camp right now. He's not showing up at camp.
Right, holdout,
So,
true holdout.
Yeah, true holdout. So if they can get him into a contract, if they somehow can sign him, that's a good obviously another piece to add. But like I said, if they stay healthy, that's one of the teams can
They're gonna
compete with the Chiefs.
they're gonna sign him.
Yeah.
What do you think about them letting Bryce Huff go, but bringing in Hassan Reddick?
I mean,
It seems to me like they had something great right at home,
yes.
and they instead let him go for nothing and traded a pick for a guy who was an instant problem. They knew they were bringing in a problem. What do you think about that? Because I really liked Bryce Huff.
Bryce Huff is he had a great year last year with the Jets and bright young player. Basically the same position. They swapped, but pretty much. But I think for them, I don't know why I'm still confused about it. But I think for them they wanted they should have kept Bryce Huff in my opinion.
Yes.
But I think Hassan Reddick. Don't get me wrong, great player. So took him a couple years to get where he is right now, but and they knew coming in that's going to be an issue with the
Yes.
contract.
Everything
So-
about it made no sense to me. Very Jetsy.
So now it's going to be up to the front office, so how much they're willing to give, and if they're going to give it. I think they're going to give it, like Anthony said. I think they're going to sign him eventually, but it's just a matter of how much, what is he looking for, and what the Joe Douglas is trying to give him. So
yeah, it's going to end up being like a
it's-
one-year
yeah,
deal.
Yeah, I
because,
think their thought process was he's gonna come in finishing out the contract
yeah,
already. And
But no, he had already said it while he was still an Eagle. He was like, "I'm not playing on
Yeah.
this contract." They were like, "Okay, we'll trade you away to the stupid team." Doesn't think ahead.
but Bryce Huff, man,
He was very good.
he's going to kill it with
Yeah,
Philly.
and guess who picked up Bryce Huff? The
Philly,
Eagles.
Eagles.
The Eagles did. It's like the Eagles outplayed the Jets completely on that one. So they ended up getting the younger, good player on the rise and a draft pick.
Yep.
And they got rid of their contract.
as the kids say,
problem.
they fleeced him.
Yep.
Fleeced. Okay, so now let's talk NFC. Okay. Big, powerful teams, and this is a little bit flatter,
Talk.
right? Hey, look, tis the season, guys,
Let's go.
Let's do it.
This is my favorite season.
right?
Football.
So we have San Francisco, right? We have, let's
Eagles.
say the Eagles. We have the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, so those are three. I think are the top three teams
Right
in the
now,
NFC, right? Is anybody else in their class? I don't think so.
Uh,
There's a
No.
next tier, in my
There-
opinion,
there's a-
but those top three are.
the class of the NFC.
I agree.
Detroit showed a lot last year. Dan Campbell, I love his swagger. He brings swag to the team. And Brad Holmes, the GM, he changed that team a lot in Detroit. And kudos to them. That team is loaded. Their talent is scary. That fan base, they're starving for something to happen, and it's their time. So they're young enough to sustain that success. So I think Detroit is obviously one of the top teams, but San Francisco is still there, and obviously Philly with Saquon Barkley there now, and Bryce Huff and all the other additions they made. But Detroit. I love Detroit. I really like Detroit this year.
Yeah, are they? So who's your NFC championship game? What two teams?
Man,
It's probably one of those three. Like who? You know what I mean? If you don't pick two out of those three teams in the NFC championship game, I believe you're just trying to
yeah.
just trying to make a hot take.
I think.
I got a hot take.
Oh, you got
I
hot.
bet you do.
The Raiders.
Oh,
That's the wrong conference,
conference.
unfortunately.
You're gonna see them in the playoffs.
If the
this
Raiders
year.
won the NFC,
wow.
I would lose my shit. I'll eat my hat.
sick.
You heard it here right now. If the Raiders win the NFC, I will eat my hat. Anyway, carry on. So who's your
I'm
NFC
a Raiders
championship
fan
game?
this year.
NFC Championship game. I'm gonna say San Francisco and Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I like that.
basically
I like
rematch
that
of
one.
rematch of last year.
Rematch. Yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
Detroit was up. People forget they were up at the half.
Yep. They
in
were
that
up.
game,
Yep.
and,
And
they
then
ended up losing it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Philly got Saquon for sure, but I think
What do you
Kelsey's,
think- Kelsey losing Kelsey is
It's hard-
definitely a
tough.
loss because
That's
he's a
tough.
Hall of Famer.
yep.
But I think the guy who they have coming in there is actually pretty
He's
good.
pretty good. He's good. Yeah.
What do you think about the offense with the new offensive coordinator? Because last year I think the biggest problem with the Eagles was play calling.
Yeah.
So what do you think we can expect with the Eagles and their new offensive coordinator?
Maybe we're gonna see a different style, and maybe they're gonna. Maybe they have something up their sleeves with Jalen Hurts, and then obviously Saquon Barkley there now. And the one thing about Saquon is Saquon can not only run, but he can catch the ball on the outside.
Yeah.
So I can see them maybe throwing him the ball some games and doing some whatever they. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I think with the new offensive coordinator, it's gonna be a fresh thing. So teams will not know what they're gonna bring. So that's another advantage for them. But it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Where's Odell?
Odell's in
Miami.
Miami now,
Yeah.
which I
he's
don't
on
get
the
because they don't
end
need
of the career tour.
They have enough weapons. They didn't need him.
Yeah.
They got two. They got what? Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
They got-
Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They drafted a
yeah.
kid this year. He's just down the end of the bench in Miami
He
chilling.
just wanted to party.
chilling,
Yeah.
dude.
You want to
Yeah.
go on the boat again?
Yeah, exactly. exactly. So you got the Niners and Detroit. Now,
Yes.
who's your Super Bowl matchup?
I got
Is it going to be Chiefs Niners again?
I got Detroit and Chiefs.
Ooh.
That would be nice.
I would love to see Detroit go to the Super Bowl.
I
That
would
would be
love
awesome.
I think it's their time.
That would be awesome.
I wanted it last year. Oh man, that would have been nice.
Yeah. That
They
would've been
deserve it.
good.
That team is great, my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be exciting. One more thing I want to talk about sports-wise, and then we'll, maybe wrap it up. Where are you, like, how tuned in, how plugged in are you and our media, whatever, to the WNBA? And
We are plugged in big
the buzz that they've been getting lately.
So I have. So we've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings with the WNBA. So we were on. So during the All-Star break, we were on the Zoom calls with the players like Clay and Clark, Angel Reese, and all the coaches, players. We were all on the Zoom call, speaking to them, and it's a lot. They're getting a lot of buzz. And since Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese has been in the league this year, the jersey sales has increased. The viewership has increased. Endorsements, everything has increased. So the WNBA is getting a lot popular now. And kudos to the commissioner, Kathy. Man, she's doing a great job, amazing job with that league. And a lot of people need to start paying attention. Caitlin Clark, she's like the LeBron of WNBA right now. She's bringing all the attention. Caitlin Clark. So that league is bright and for the future.
And not only is she, bringing all this attention, but she's got like a rival. You know what I mean? And there's like this rivalry going on.
Yep.
There's a
Like,
beef.
There is. There's
There
a
is a
lot of
beef.
beef, like hard fouls and everything. There's Angel Reese, right?
Angel Reese, the
Now
beef.
Angel Reese is also a rookie, right?
Yeah, she's a rookie. Yep.
And so they have this like, well, she's not the best, I'm the best, but not, it's
It happens.
yeah. There's a little rivalry going on there.
They ever fight?
There was like hard fouls.
Yeah, hard
right?
fouls
Yeah,
during the game.
That'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
But you know what's funny though? During the All-Star game, they played with each other, and then Caitlin Clark passed the ball to Angel Reese, and everybody was cheering.
Right.
So it's like a
Like we-
kumbaya moment.
Right. Like everything's better now
I
because she
respect
passed the ball.
I respect that. I
Yeah,
respect
but
that.
no,
Here,
I mean,
take this.
it's nice because people had been complaining in recent years, not like too loudly, of course, because it's a ticky tack thing to complain about.
Because
But
it's not a real sport. Is that what they're saying?
whoa,
No, Joe,
Excuse
listen,
me.
It's a comedy show. It's a comedy show because
Whoa.
I've heard people
That
say
is not what I was going to say
But-
at all. Excuse me. No. Let's just move on from that. I what I was going to say was people had been talking about the NBA, the regular
Yeah.
NBA, the men's NBA, and saying how all the players are friends now. Like a lot of the players they're all friends together. They all hang out together when they're not playing. They are, everybody's best friend, and they're all doing stuff together and whatever. Whereas in the 90s, for example, teams hated each other. Like the Celtics hated the New York Knicks.
Yep.
They hated the Pacers. They hated these guys, the
Really?
Miami Heat. Yeah, there was like true
Real
rivalries
rivalries, yeah.
in the NBA where guys didn't want to. They would never be hanging out together and playing video games together and doing all these things together. They would never be doing that. So people were sort of criticizing the NBA for sort of going soft, quote unquote, because of these friendships as opposed to rivalries. But then it was a sort of a breath of fresh air, or a welcomed breath of fresh air, because in the WNBA you got some straight rivalries, like some real like bad blood going on. You know,
And
where this one's
these
talking
two
about
people are
that one.
hot
and this
shit
one's
right now. So
yeah, they're both the two hot rookies, and you know, it's bringing a little bit of that bite back to basketball, which people really felt it was lacking and still is lacking in the NBA. But the WNBA has that fight to it. It's pretty cool.
And the one thing about Angel Reese is she's like your diva in the league. Like she's all to herself, and like on the Zoom calls that we've been on with her, she's like her hair is like she go be like doing like this the whole time, and she's like she all like someone asked her a question in the media room saying so the cool thing about this Zoom thing is when we're on Zoom, they show us a media room too that the other people are in, so we get to see them sitting in the thing. So one person goes, "What are you doing what are you gonna do during the break?" She goes, "I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna go this and that." So like sometimes she's hurt to herself. And she's like the diva of the league right now.
But they're young, right? They're
They're
still
young.
in their 20s, so
Rookie,
she's
20.
just being a kid.
Yeah.
Like she's just living life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's the diva, and then as opposed to what? Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark is like all about winning, and I mean Angel Reese was all about winning too, but Caitlin Clark is like more focused on
She's a little bit less cocky,
yeah,
a little bit less
yeah.
like outspoken,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and a little bit less,
Yeah.
More of, like,
diva-ish.
The homebody-ish.
Yeah,
kinda-
interesting.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, this train is brought to you by the WNBA.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Sick.
But yeah, I had never really been interested in the WNBA before, but now I'm like, I know all the beefs that are going on. I'm like paying attention.
Yeah,
and stuff,
so everybody needs to start paying attention to the WNBA. Like,
yeah, and
we're gonna be more involved with them too. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
nice. Do you have anything like coming up as far as the NR Hour or like different podcasts or whatever that you're going to be doing that you'd like to plug that are coming out in the like say like late August, September time?
So the Bar A here on Friday, Chris and Mad Dog,
Right.
Mad Dog is gonna be here Friday. So whoever's in the here in this area, go meet Mad Dog.
Well, this episode will come out after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So is there anything in like the little bit of a farther future that you got going on?
Oh yeah. So we have so the events we do with the players and at the Woodbridge Brewing Company. So we got some events coming up there with the Yankees players, Mets players, and some couple of football players coming there. So
And where can people find that schedule stuff? Is it on your social media?
Yeah, so they can find on my social media, or you can go on the website or on their Instagram. It's called Woodbridge Brewing Company in Woodbridge, New Jersey. It's like a restaurant/bar. We've been helping them out since last year with their events. They do a great job, and we bring in the players for them there, and so we have really good events coming up there with the players. And not only that venue, we're working on different venues, so you guys can check the social media page, our page, or Woodbridge page, or whatever.
Nithin, thank you very much for coming in.
No problem. Thank
very
you guys
much,
for
yeah.
having me. Chris, Anthony,
Hell yeah, dude.
David, the big three. You guys are the best.
Thank
Keep
you.
it up.
Thank you so much. Now
it up.
make sure that you give us your social media handles again really quick and your .com and stuff.
Yeah. So on Instagram, it's the NR_. On Twitter, it's the same thing, the NR_. And you can find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. We have 2 websites, NR Media website, and also I also write for this company called Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
I
So-
thought he was about to say World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah, but
say that one again. I'm sorry.
Worldwide Sports Radio Network, another company I work for and write for, so you can find our stuff over there. And also, like I said, look forward to our upcoming events at Woodbridge Brewing Company, and we're working on other venues for events. And thank you guys again for having me.
course.
Thank
dude.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You heard it here first, guys. Check him out. He's up to a lot of cool stuff.
Yes.
And
If you like sports,
this is your guy.
follow this man.
Yeah. If you like sports, this is your guy 100%.
Yes.
And if you like to laugh, we're your guys.
Yes, that's
That's
us.
us.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Check us out on YouTube at the Two Clouded Mind Show. Everywhere you get your podcast. If you don't want to watch us and you just want to listen to us, which is kind of weird, but whatever. We're anywhere you get your podcasts. If you want to check us out, we're all over social media at the Two Clouded Mind Show. Stalking us individually. I'm at Chris_is_not funny.
DC in the city on all social media. Anthony, thanks for hanging out.
Guys, stay clouded.